How's it going?
It's going really well. I made 300 pips last week, and I have my hiccups, and sometimes get like too anxious when trading.
Right.
But I'll write my questions down.
I mean, where you're at right now, are you thinking about quitting your job right now, or what's your situation like?
No, definitely not yet. I'm not that well into trading. I've been studying since August.
Okay, so not, yeah, not too long, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't rush it, because commonly on the internet, it's glorified to not have a job. It's glorified to be self-employed, own your own business, be an entrepreneur, whatever that even means for most people. And don't rush into it. You have a situation where you have a job that can provide a stable income, and it takes the stress off of these other ventures that you're coming into. And so just as much as you can, stay at your job, rack up money, because there's no way for you to really make real money without having real money. There's no way for you to really invest into something big if you don't have big money in your bank already. And so, you just have to figure out what you can do now to minimize life expenses and maximize business expenses, meaning invest into yourself, invest into your business, and start there to grow into your brand. And then once you know for a fact that you have 5 times the money coming in that you need to live day by day, which I know where you're at, New York, it costs much more. Once that happens, you have more money, that's when you can actually look and say, okay, I'm making 5 times what it would cost me to live every month. Now it's time for me to try to quit my job and see what happens. That's when it's time to take the leap. Don't risk it all right away.
Definitely. Nice.
All right, man, hit me with your other question.
Oh yeah. So, all right. So when you first started, what's the biggest tips you would give your past self when you first started to trade?
Biggest tips when I first started to trade. Well, investing as a whole, I think, and in entrepreneurship, the 3 biggest tips I can give anybody are controlling risk, managing expectations, and setting proper goals. And that's both from business, and if I look at trading, is people tend to not succeed in trading specifically because of the aspect that they don't have enough money, and then when they don't have enough money, they tend to over leverage the investment. They're not controlling the risk. Secondly, when they're setting the expectations, try not to set your expectations so high. I'm not saying don't expect something from yourself, but I think we commonly compare to our neighbors. We compare to people we see online, and all these people we see online are making so much money and all that whatever that you see, and you just tend to compare, and then you rush it, and that kind of flows back into the first, which you're probably risking too much. And then third is just setting proper goals. And what I mean by that is just set smart goals. You've heard of SMART goals, right?
Smart, S-M-A-R-T.
Yeah, like SMART is in specific, measurable, attainable, results-oriented, and bound by time. If we set goals that really going to come down to it are results-oriented and measurable, if you look at it, you just have to be able to measure what you're getting. And so for you, in investing, that's a percent gain. That's a percent, gain on your account per month, per year, whatever, and or a dollar sign, a win ratio. These are measurable. And just write those down on a whiteboard or a piece of paper month after month. Figure out what is it that you can do to get better. And if you can measure from January to February to March to April and see that you're progressing, or maybe you're at a plateau, or maybe you're going backwards, and see what can you adjust. And usually it comes back to the risk. Strategy is obsolete. Risk is the winning factor to making money in the foreign exchange.
Nice, right on. Should I eventually just aim for like a certain amount of pip goals, like 30 pips a day, and then when I'm really confident in getting 30 pips a day, just like actually put more money into my account?
Yeah, when I ever talk to people, there's, as you probably already have found, there's a psychological barrier from a demo account paper money to real money. And so you've taken that initial leap. You have a small account with real money in it. If you lose it, it's not the end of the world. But at the same token, when you put a real investment in, when I'm talking a real investment, something that means something to you, that's going to be a different number for everybody. That is usually the time where you really know if you're comfortable or not. And so it all comes back to your ability to manage your risk. And if you're in the habit now of over leveraging, or if you're in the habit of risking too much on your account, it's not going to be good in the future. If you're not in that habit and you're consistently measuring your risk, you're figuring out a percent risk per trade, meaning I'm only going to risk 2% of my account per trade, or whatever that percentage is to you. It might be 1, might be 3. But if it's, say, 2% per trade, just never deviate. It's the moments that I can pinpoint right now why traders fail. And why traders fail is they will have a winner, and they'll be risking 2% on those 2 positions. And then that third position, now they're feeling a little confident. And guess what happens? They risk 6%, 10%. They lose, and those previous winners are just wiped out. And so your ability to be consistent, not only with your trading strategy, but with your risk, is going to determine most of your success in the foreign exchange.